Hi there. I'm really glad you're here today. Lately, I've been diving into different decluttering methods, and I've discovered some really surprising ones I hadn't heard of before. I tried them out in my own space just to see what would happen. And honestly, the results were much more powerful than I expected. That's why I wanted to share them with you, because if something this simple can shift how I feel in my home, it might just do the same for you. You don't need to prepare anything. Just find one small area that's quietly bothering you. You don't have to finish, just start. In this video, I'll walk you through 9 well-known decluttering approaches. Each one is like a mini experiment, quick, gentle, but surprisingly effective. And the first one, it's a Japanese method that completely changed the way I look at everyday mess. The first method I want to share comes from Japan, and it wasn't originally created for homes at all. The 5S method started in Japanese factories and workplaces. It was designed to help people work more safely, more efficiently, and with less stress. Over time, people realized something interesting. The same system works incredibly well in everyday life, especially at home. 5S stands for 5 Japanese words, but you don't need to remember all of them. What really matters is the idea behind it. Most spaces don't feel heavy because they're dirty. They feel heavy because they hold too many things that no longer belong in our daily lives. That's why this method doesn't start with cleaning. It starts with sorting. The first step is called seiri, which simply means removing what's not needed. Here's how to try it gently, without pressure. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Choose one small area only, a countertop part of a shelf or one section of your desk. Now pick up each item and ask one honest question. Have I actually used this recently? If the answer is no, or even not really, place it into a temporary basket or bag. You're not throwing anything away, you're just taking it out of the space for now. When I tried this for the first time, I chose my bedside table. I thought it was already pretty minimal, but in just 3 minutes, I removed old notes and empty hand cream and a decorative item I had been wiping around every single day without realizing how much it annoyed me. The table didn't just look clearer. Mornings felt calmer. Nights felt quieter. That's the quiet power of seiri. You're not organizing yet. You're reducing friction. And once there are fewer things in the way, the space naturally stays cleaner without extra effort. That small shift creates momentum, and suddenly, you don't feel like you're cleaning the same spot over and over again. And if you're anything like me, once you experience that kind of relief, your mind immediately goes to, okay, how do I keep this feeling going without trying harder? That's exactly what I'll be sharing next. The few everyday items and simple choices that quietly support a calmer, cleaner home. Nothing fancy, nothing aesthetic for the sake of it. Just the things that actually make daily life easier, especially on tired days. It's one of those topics that sounds small, but once you see it, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. But before we get there, there's something even more important to talk about. Because sometimes the problem isn't too much stuff, it's standing in front of the mess and not knowing where to begin. And the next method is designed exactly for that moment when you need a clear decision fast without overthinking. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the mess, it's decision fatigue. You stand in front of a cluttered drawer or shelf and think, do I need this? What if I regret it? Should I keep it, move it, store it, or just give up? The 4-box method helps you get out of your head and into action. Here's how it works. You prepare 4 bins or bags each with a clear label. Keep, donate, trash, store. That's it. Then you pick one small area, a drawer, a shelf, the kitchen counter. Set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes max. As you go through each item, don't sit there debating. Just place it into one of the 4 boxes based on how you use it right now, not how you used it years ago, or might use it someday. For example, I tried this on a random cabinet in my living room, the one where things go when I don't know where else to put them. In 20 minutes, I had a pile of cables I didn't recognize, trash, 2 puzzles my niece outgrew, donate, a photo album I wanted to keep but not display, store, and a few things I actually needed but had forgotten about, keep that cabinet. Didn't just look better, it finally made sense. The best part of this method is how it removes pressure. You're not trying to decide the future of your stuff forever. You're just giving each item a temporary direction. And once those 4 categories are set, your brain stops freezing up. You're not overwhelmed by options. You've created boundaries. This is especially powerful if you've ever told yourself, I'll decide later, and then later never comes. Because with this method, later becomes now. Next, I'll share a rule that helps you let go of even more, especially the kind of stuff we keep, just in case, even though deep down we know we'll never use it again. You know that moment when you're holding something and thinking, I don't really use this, but maybe I should keep it, just in case. That tiny debate, it's exhausting, and it happens with almost every object when you're decluttering. The 20-10 rule helps you skip that mental spiral. It's simple, fast, and surprisingly freeing. Here's the rule. If an item can be replaced in under 20 minutes and for under $20 and you don't actually use it, let it go. That's it. You're not making a grand decision. You're choosing peace over a maybe someday. I used this recently with a random kitchen tool, a corner I bought years ago thinking I'd be the kind of person who cores apples. I'd used it once. It was shoved in the back of the drawer, dull and slightly rusty. I hadn't touched it in at least 2 years. So I asked myself if I really needed this, could I replace it quickly and affordably? Yes. Into the donation box it went. And you know what? I haven't missed it once. This method is for the items that linger not because they're useful, but because we don't want to feel guilty about getting rid of them. But guilt isn't a reason to keep something. If that object quietly drains your energy every time you open the drawer, it's already costing more than $20. This rule creates a boundary not for your things, but for your decision making. It trains your brain to prioritize ease over what if. And once you feel that click, the clean drawer, the absence of indecision, it becomes easier to trust yourself the next time. Up next, I'll share a tiny shift that helps you prevent clutter from creeping back in every single time you bring something new into the house. You've decluttered. You feel lighter. But then, slowly, the house starts filling up again. That's the part no one tells you about clutter doesn't come back all at once. It sneaks in one new shirt, one freebie, one sale item at a time. That's where the one in, one out rule becomes a lifesaver. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it quietly keeps your home from tipping back into chaos. Here's how it works. Every time something new comes into your space, you let go of one item in the same category. New mug in, one old mug out, buy a new dress. Choose one you haven't worn in ages to donate or toss. The key is to do it immediately while the new thing still feels exciting. Because that's when you're least emotionally attached to the old one. I used this rule when I bought a new cardigan last fall. As soon as I got home, I opened my closet and pulled out one that always made me tug at the sleeves. It wasn't awful, but it never felt quite right. Letting it go at that moment made the new one feel more intentional, like I'd made space for it, not just added more. And when you practice this regularly, something shifts. You stop bringing things in so casually. You think twice before buying because you know it comes with a trade-off. It's a small act, but it builds a powerful habit. One that doesn't just maintain your space, but your clarity. Up next, let's talk about your closet, because there's a method that flips the whole "what should I toss" mindset and instead asks, what are the few things I truly love to live in? Some mornings, the real clutter isn't in your closet, it's in your head. You stand there staring at a full wardrobe and think, why do I have nothing to wear? Project 3333 is a challenge that flips that whole feeling. Instead of trying to declutter your clothes, you create a tiny wardrobe you love living in just 33 items worn for 3 months. It includes clothes, shoes, outerwear, and accessories, but not workout clothes, pajamas, or sentimental items. And no, you don't have to throw anything out, you're just putting the rest aside for now. Here's how to try a soft version today. Pick out 33 pieces you actually wear and feel good in. Tops, bottoms, shoes, jackets, things that suit your current lifestyle and body. Hang or fold them in one visible section of your closet. Then, for the next week, only get dressed from that section. When I did this, I realized I'd been rotating the same 6 to 7 outfits anyway, the rest was just noise. And weirdly, the limitation made me more creative. I mixed and matched more. I actually enjoyed getting dressed again. The deeper change, I stopped chasing a someday style and started dressing for the life I actually live now. This project isn't about perfection or minimalism. It's about clarity and about proving to yourself that less really can be enough. And once your wardrobe feels lighter, it's natural to start looking at the rest of the house, especially those drawers and corners where small things quietly pile up. The next method brings just the right kind of structure without stress to help with that. Sometimes the hardest part of decluttering is not knowing where to start or feeling like you have to do it all at once. The 30-day minimalism challenge flips that. Instead of tackling your whole house in one weekend, you let go of things slowly and steadily. The idea is simple. Day 1, get rid of 1 item. Day 2, 2 items. Day 3, 3 items. And you keep going until day 30. That means by the end of the month, you'll have let go of nearly 500 things without ever having to do a massive cleanup. What I love most about this method is how gentle it feels. You don't need a game plan. You don't even need a free afternoon. You just need a small window of honesty each day. I did this challenge once in December, a month that's normally full of buying and receiving. And every day I quietly removed a few things: socks with no match, duplicate spatulas, a book I never finished and never would, trinkets I kept out of guilt, not love. None of it felt dramatic. But by day 15, my drawers opened easier. I felt like my space could breathe again, and so could I. And here's the quiet magic. This kind of challenge builds momentum. Even on days when life feels heavy, letting go of one tiny thing helps you feel like you did something good for yourself. If you're someone who does well with small daily goals and needs something sustainable, this is a powerful way to create lasting change. Next, we'll shift from daily habits to a deeper mindset, one that asks not what you need, but what truly supports the life you want. At some point in the decluttering journey, most of us start asking the bigger question: why do I have so much in the first place? That's where minimalism comes in. Not as an aesthetic, not as a strict rule, but as a mindset shift from what can I get rid of to what do I actually need to live well? Minimalism is about choosing deliberately. It's not about owning nothing. It's about owning just enough. Just enough clothes you love, just enough tools that serve your real life, just enough decorations that feel meaningful, not overwhelming. Here's one small way to start. Pick one category in your home that feels bloated, like bags, mugs, or skincare. Now, instead of asking what to toss, ask, which of these do I truly use and enjoy? Let the rest go, or at least set it aside in a box for a week. When I tried this with my tote bags, I realized I had over 10 and used 2. The others weren't bad, they just weren't necessary. Letting go didn't feel like a loss. It felt like clarity. And that's the hidden gift of minimalism. When there's less noise, your mind doesn't have to work so hard to make small decisions. What to wear, what to reach for, what to clean. You spend less energy managing your stuff and more energy actually living. Next, we'll shift from minimizing for yourself to minimizing for the people you love most. Because the next method asks not what you want, but what you want to leave behind. After all the practical, logical methods, this one asks you to slow down and feel. The KonMari method, created by Marie Kondo, is probably the most well-known approach to decluttering, but most people have never actually done it. It's not just about getting rid of things, it's about choosing what to keep based on one simple question. Does this spark joy? And I get it when you're overwhelmed, tired, or stressed. Joy can feel like a big ask, but what if we soften the question? What if instead you asked, does this make me feel lighter? Do I smile or do I shrink a little when I touch this? That tiny shift changes everything. Here's how to try it. Pick a small category, maybe scarves, mugs, or notebooks. Hold each item in your hands. Don't overthink it. Just notice what your body does. If your shoulders drop, if a sigh comes out, that's your signal. I once held on to a blouse for 3 years because it was expensive, but every time I put it on, I tugged at the collar. The moment I gave myself permission to let it go without guilt, I felt an instant exhale. That's the joy Marie talks about. Not loud excitement, just relief. KonMari works especially well when you're stuck in emotional clutter, the things tied to a version of you that no longer fits. You're not just choosing objects, you're choosing how you want to feel in your space. And when you learn to trust that feeling, it gets easier not just to declutter, but to live more honestly. And now we turn to the final method, one that goes beyond your own comfort and asks, what do I want to leave behind for the people I love most? This last method feels different. Not heavier, just deeper. Swedish death cleaning, or decluttering, comes from a Swedish way of thinking about life, aging, and care. Despite the name, it isn't about death in a dark or dramatic sense. It's about kindness. About not leaving emotional and physical burdens behind for the people you love. This method asks a completely different question. Not, do I need this? Not, does this make me happy? But simply, would anyone be grateful I kept this? That shift changes everything. Here's a gentle way to start. No pressure, no big clean out. Choose one small category with emotional weight: photos, letters, keepsakes, old notebooks. Pick up one item and ask, if someone I love had to sort through this one day, would this feel like a gift or a responsibility? If it feels meaningful, keep it, but consider adding context. A note, a name, a short explanation. If it feels like it only holds meaning for you, it may be time to let it go. I tried this with a box of old papers I'd been carrying from apartment to apartment. Most of it wasn't important, it was just familiar. Keeping a few meaningful pieces and releasing the rest felt surprisingly peaceful, like closing a chapter with care. This method isn't about getting rid of memories, it's about curating them with intention. A simple practice you can try is creating one small memory box, just one. Fill it with the things you'd actually want someone to find and understand. Then share one story from it with someone you love. That moment matters more than the object itself. Swedish death cleaning reminds us that decluttering isn't only about making space. It's about love, responsibility, and choosing what truly deserves to be carried forward. And with that, you've seen 9 very different ways of letting go, each one offering a different kind of lightness depending on where you are in life. That was 9 ways I've personally tried to keep my home and my mind a little lighter, one small step at a time. You don't need to do them all. Just one shift, even tiny, can start to loosen the weight. If even one of these helped you breathe a little easier, that's already enough. And if you're wondering, okay, but what do I actually need to make all this feel easier, tomorrow's video is exactly that. The everyday things I reach for again and again, not fancy, not perfect, just quietly helpful. You might already own some, and a few might make you think, wait, that's allowed. It's the kind of video that makes decluttering feel doable, even on your most tired days, so don't miss it. If this video gave you something useful, hit like it lets me know what really helps. And if you want more calm, more clarity, and more space that feels like you, don't forget to subscribe.